Hi everyone, and welcome back to our channel, or welcome to our channel if you're new. For today's video, we'll be diving into more Valentine's Day themed videos. Now for today, we're making this delicious Valentine's Day cake. You can make this cake for your significant other, or you can make it for yourself. I personally would make it for myself. So if you'd like to see how to make this, then please keep on watching. Alright, so now we're going to start off with ingredients as per usual. So we're starting off with 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of buttermilk, 3/4 of a cup of vegetable oil, 1 teaspoon of white vinegar, 2 eggs, half a cup of butter or a butter stick. Make sure that's room temperature and unsalted. You'll also need 1.5 teaspoons of red food coloring, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now everything I just listed will definitely be in the description box below if you guys want to create the recipe. Alright, so now we're going to start putting our cake batter together. So first we're going to start off with the baking soda. You're also going to be adding in some salt. And you'll also be adding in your cocoa. Now we used cocoa powder, of course, for this recipe. You can change it up depending on the type of cake you're making. And now you want to mix all of this up. Now you're going to mix it up very well because this is going to be set aside so we can put together another part of our batter before we put everything together. So you're starting off first with your butter in a pan, and then you're going to add your sugar in, and then we're going to blend this together. Now if you have a KitchenAid, this is 10 times easier, but this is what it should look like before we put in the egg. Now as you can see, we're adding in the egg, and then you're going to mix this together. Now you want to mix this until it gets nice and fluffy, and that's how you know that it's coming together nicely. We highly recommend using a mixer, of course, for this, but because mixing it by hand is going to be very difficult. But to each his own. If you'd like to mix it by hand, it may take a little longer. This just sped up the process. Alright, and now this is what it should look like. We're adding in another egg, and then you're going to again repeat that process by mixing it together. Now as you can see, it's coming out like a nice meringue almost, and that's exactly the consistency that you're looking for it. Now we'll be adding in the white vinegar. You'll also be adding in your vanilla essence. Now this is of course a very crucial ingredient for any cake because it gives it a nice sweetness. You'll also need your nutmeg and some cinnamon. Now you'll also be adding in your vegetable oil. And then lastly, you'll also add in your buttermilk. Now once you've added all of these ingredients, you're going to mix it together with your mixer, and that is going to put your batter together. Now let's not forget about what we had previously done, which was the other cocoa powder sort of mixture. So we're going to add that straight into the batter, as you can see here. And this is just going to complete our cake batter, and then we can move on to the next step. So you want to add this in gradually, and then you're going to mix it together with a spatula or something just to get it mixed nicely together before you go in with the hand mixer. Now you want to do this just so that everything folds in nicely and it's not becoming watery, because it can become watery with too much folding and mixing it up too much. So you want to mix it with the mixer, and as you can see, it has a nice fluffiness to it, and that's exactly what you're looking for in terms of consistency for this batter. So now as you can see, we're moving on to color. Now we're trying to make this a very red cake. Now you'll see by the end that it doesn't exactly turn out red on the outside, but just wait and see till the end what actually happens to it. It's really interesting. So at first we started adding in our food coloring very gradually because we wanted to see how dark we can get it. Now as you can see here, we're like squeezing the bottle dry just to see if we can get it as red as possible. Now unfortunately it did not turn out red, but it did turn out pink. So having it pink also works out for Valentine's Day. And you see we went really heavy on the food coloring. Now of course you don't have to add food coloring. You can make this a regular chocolate cake, or you can even make it a different color if you'd like. This is what it should look like if you're doing our method of gradually adding in food coloring. it turned out to be a very nice strawberry pink. Alright, so now we're adding our batter to our cake pan. Now, as you can see, we have a cute heart-shaped pan. We got this at our local bulk barn, but you can get it at any grocery store. And then you're going to shape this into the pan and get it ready for the oven. Now, you don't want this to overflow the pan because of course it's going to rise, so you just want it to be at the perfect halfway point in the pan. We're then going to bake this at 375 and you're going to keep an eye on it until it is fully complete. Once you've completed the cake, we started decorating it. We took some red icing and we started to line the design that was on the outside of the heart and also in the center where they had the engravement of the heart. So you can do anything that you'd like. We did this kind of spiral sort of design that kind of looked like roses, and it worked out quite well, we think. And as you can see in the center, we took a chocolate rose, a white chocolate rose, and added it into the center, and then put some nice little heart-shaped sprinkles all around the center heart. And we thought that this minimalist type of decor worked perfectly for the cake because we didn't want to overflow it with icing. We thought that the cake could speak for itself with its design. And that is what the cake looks like completed. It's really simple to make, and this is a cake from scratch, so this is not a box cake, so it's going to be homemade and it's going to taste delicious regardless of how you do this recipe. And we did cut into the cake. Now, this is what we were talking about earlier. We were surprised to see that although the cake on the outside is quite brown, on the inside it's actually pink. So you could see us cutting it here, making sure we get a perfect piece. And you could see on the inside, it's kind of like a reddish pink, which worked out quite well in our favor because we wanted it to be red, but because of the cocoa powder and how it was baked, of course it wasn't going to turn out completely red. But I think we did a perfectly good job of making it almost to that point, and you could see a nice rim of the chocolate on the outside. So that is the final recipe completed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment down below what you thought of this video and other videos on our channel. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos every single week. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and thanks for watching.